Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to another meta guide. So, all three leagues are returning tomorrow: the Open Great, Ultra, and Master League. Usually, I do these meta guides once per season, but I decided to do it again because this is really the last chance to hit Legend or Expert or whatever your goals are for this season. You can do it, I believe in you. But we have the Open Great, Ultra, and Master League available. So we're going to be starting off with the Great League. So let's see what we got going on for us in the S-Rank. Of course, Lickitung, always going to be a great Pokemon, always going to be a great save swap. Cresselia is another great Pokemon. I think Cresselia is really good. Don't see it as often as I would generally expect, but it's still a really bulky and strong Pokemon. It can take hits even from opposing Pokemon that are strong against it. Gliga or Shadow Gliga I think is a great Pokemon, of course. I like the Shadow one. I prefer the Shadow one. I got a pretty decent ranked one when it was around last rotation. Hopefully you did as well. But Gliga is such a good Pokemon. It really is. I love using it. Registeel, of course, we've seen Registeel so many times. This thing probably needs a nerf, but, well, there are probably other Pokemon that probably should get nerfs over Registeel, but this is a really good Pokemon, of course. Then we have Skarmory. Skarmory, of course, ever since it got Steel Wing, it was, you know what, Skarmory was nerfed last season because it had Air Slash, right, and Air Slash and Sky Attack. Sky Attack was nerfed, and Air Slash is not the greatest move, so Skarmory kind of fell out of the meta, but this season, Steel Wing got buffed, and it's just so good. It really is. Lanturn, of course, really dominating Pokemon. It was nerfed at one point. Well, I don't know if it was really nerfed. I mean, it takes longer to get to the charge attacks, but it also does more damage with Spark. Wishcash, oh my gosh, they need to nerf Wishcash next season, I'm telling you. Because Scald, not only does it do more damage this season, which I think was fine, but it has a 30% chance, oh not 30%, it has a 50% chance to debuff your opponent's attack. So a lot of times, it comes down to a coin flip if it's in the mirror match, right? If Wishcash gets that debuff, I feel like it should go back to 30%, and then it would still be really good, but maybe it wouldn't be overpowered. It still probably would be. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it really needs a nerf. It was that good, or it is that good. You see it most teams. And then Charjabug, of course, Charjabug, ever since it had the Community Day, got Volt Switch, really strong pick. Moving on to the A rank, we have another Mudboy Swampert. I think Wishcash is better than Swampert, but this season. But Swampert still gets to the Hydro Cannons fast, and it still does a lot of damage as well. Still really strong Pokemon. Mantine is another strong one as well. Aerialis did receive that buff, right? Was it last season, 2 seasons ago? I want to say last season. It's still not the greatest Pokemon, but with the wing attack buff that they got like a year ago, whenever that got buffed, and then you have Aerialis, it just makes for a really good combination. And then Bastiodon, of course, we all know Bastiodon, a wall. As long as it's not weak, like it's double weak to ground and it's weak to fighting, but still, as long as you don't run into something that walls it, I guess, Bastiodon, of course, can be a wall itself. And then Mandibuzz, a pretty good flying type. Annihilate, of course, we got Annihilate this season. Annihilate is a really strong Pokemon. Originally, I was running it with Counter and Ice Punch and Shadow Ball, but now I think Night Slash maybe a little bit better, a little bit cheaper. You know, the Glygos are still going to shield because they don't know it could be Ice Punch. Poliwrath was a nightmare boost. I got Icy Wind this season. Scald got the buff. Poliwrath is just a nightmare to go up against. Debuff City, right? And then we have Vigoroth. Of course, Vigoroth is a pretty good safe swap. Really good Pokemon, of course. It did receive Rock Slide this season, so it's really strong. At least it doesn't have to run Bulldoze because Bulldoze is such a bad move. And then we have Azumarill. Of course, Azumarill received the Bubble buff this season, so it's a really good Pokemon. And then moving on to the B rank, we do have Carbink. So Carbink is still really good. I mean, it's kind of like Bastiodon, as long as it's not going up against something that walls it. I mean, it's a really strong Pokemon because it's that thick, right? And then we have Guzzlord, which I think is a really strong Dragon type. Venusaur, probably the best Grass type. I would say probably the best Grass type currently. Dragonair, really strong Dragon type with that Dragon Breath, Body Slam, Aqua Tail. Gets to the moves really fast. Dragonair, I do see it quite often. Trevenant received a nerf, I don't know, a year ago. Who knows when it received that nerf for Seed Bomb, but still a really strong Pokemon. And then we have Sableye. Of course, Sableye is a really good safe swap, I think. Alolan Sandslash. Yeah, I mean, good Pokemon. All these Pokemon are good. We're going to go ahead and move on to the other options. Quagsire. So, yeah, if you go into the Mud Boy, you probably go with Whiscash or Swampert. Or if you go Double Mud, probably the Whiscash and the Swampert. But still, I mean, Mud Bomb did receive a buff a season or two ago, whenever it was. So, Quagsire is still not a bad Pokemon. So, you could go Double Mud with Whiscash and Quagsire. And then Galarian Stunfisk. And then we have Golbat, of course, more so used in limited metas, but still has some play. Pelipper. Pelipper is a good Pokemon. It just doesn't have the bulk that Mantine has, but still, Pelipper is really strong. It's really fast, really powerful. Altaria, another Dragon type. Yeah, I mean, Sky Attack was nerfed, as we know, but still, I mean, Dragon Ball's still doing a lot of damage. What do I want to... Clodsire, there we go, Clodsire. Yeah, this is a really tanky one. I've used Clodsire with success myself. Could go a couple different ways. You probably run the Earthquake, but then you can go with Stone Edge or Sludge Bomb. Generally speaking, I like this Stone Edge just because it can hit Gligar's for neutral damage. Another Dragon type is Wilius. I think we have better options, but Wilius is not a bad one. Skeledirge. Skeledirge and Talonflame both received the Incinerate buff this season, and they are really good, and you do see them. The problem is we also received water buffs, like Whiscash, I guess Poliwrath as well, but still, I mean, Poliwrath, the counters are going to be resisted, but yeah, I mean, Whiscash is on so many teams, a lot of strong water types, like Whiscash, Lantern, Azu, that, I mean, you can still run these fire types, but, you know, you do have to watch out for that. Octobax, another Dragon type. Gliscor, not as good as Gligar, and then Toxapex. So that's going to be the Open Great League for you. Let's go ahead and swipe on over to the solid team option. So for the first team, I actually used this team with success. I climbed a good amount the day I used it, the first day. And it's going to be Skarmory, Whiscash, and I like the Shadow Gligar. You could use the regular one, but if you have the Shadow one, I would recommend it. But great team. ABA Flyers technically, but you know, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm sick. But Gligar is not weak to like Electric, whereas Skarmory is, for example, right? So still really strong, and of course Whiscash Skarmory always works out really well. And then next up we have Double Dragon. I think a friend of mine hit Legend with Double Dragon. But they actually ran Lantern, Dragonite, and Dragonite, so you could replace the Altaria for the Dragonite. But Double Dragon is really strong. Next up, we have Annihilate in the lead with Charger Bug and Registeel. This team is kind of going to struggle, right, to Gligar. Obviously, Charger Bug doesn't want to see it. Registeel, yeah, this team actually pretty much struggles to Gligar. So you probably want to go with the Ice Punch. You could maybe replace Annihilate for Poliwrath, but it's still going to struggle the same way. Or, well, maybe go, how about Azu? Instead of the Annihilate or the Poliwrath, so at least you have coverage for that Gligar. And then next up we have Gligar with Vigoroth as the safe swap, and Cresselia. I think Vigoroth is a great safe swap, as I mentioned. Then we have another cough. Man, I am really sick. But that's okay. And then we have Azu with Lickitung as the safe swap, and Venusaur. So probably go with the Hydro Pump so you have more coverage for like Bastiodon or other steel types like Galarian Stunfisk. And then we have Double Mud Boys with Skarmory in the lead. We've seen this multiple seasons, even many years ago. Instead of the Whiscash, Whiscash, I guess. I guess we saw this, but with the Air Slash Skarmory, right? Either way, that's going to be the solid team options. Let me know what team you like, and let me know what team you plan on running, and good luck to you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.